Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. Thanks for watching us tonight. I'm Elizabeth, your hostess. And what I want to talk about tonight, and I think it's so important, is to never quit. Never quit. You know, I had lost 60 pounds and I felt so great about myself. And I hit a plateau, and it's really simply because I felt so good about myself that I hit this plateau. Because, I kind of went off, and now I was just doing maintenance. But I never stopped, trying. I always was trying. And then one day it was 62, and then it was 64, and then I went to 93. If you don't quit, it will always be that way. You'll keep going forward. Do you remember any times when you just said, you just threw your hands up in the air?
Yes.
And what happened? Tell me about it.
I plateaued for 5 weeks.
Oh, God.
I was at my wits' ends. I couldn't believe that I couldn't lose any weight, and I was doing all the right things, and I was keeping a journal and, writing everything down, doing my exercise.
What did you finally figure out was the thing that was really causing you to be on that plateau? Because there's a reason. Mine was strictly just thinking I could eat. My portions got a little out of control. I wasn't gaining any weight, but it was my portions that got out of control.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was so long
Anyone?
ago.
What about you?
Oh, I've thrown my hands up many a times. I mean, usually for a short period of time, and usually I think it's because just get into a rut because something seems to work for a while, and then all of a sudden that doesn't seem to work anymore. And I don't know what the reason is, but then change it up a little bit.
You
and
have
it
to
starts
always
to
change it up.
Kickstart.
I think sometimes if you would just go to, say, a big protein thing or a big, good carb thing, or just maybe add 10 minutes to your exercise or just something. I think because it makes you more aware. That's what I like about having the lemon water in the morning. It makes me aware of eating healthy all day, even though, I might not. I might falter, but at least the road to health is paved with good intentions. I mean, at least I'll keep trying. So let's talk about some of the things that I think are really important here. Reflect on what got you off track. Oh my goodness. Everything there's really a hangnail can get me off track. What do you think gets you off track most?
Change of routine. Like if all of a sudden, if I'm going on vacation, it throws me all out of balance.
So true.
Or anything that breaks my routine kind of throws me for a loop.
Because then you get out of
can't prepare
cooking, planning and preparing, the gym or whatever you're doing for exercise. You're getting all sorts of different things happening. Anybody else?
I get into a rut.
Yes.
I find I get myself right into a rut sometimes. And sometimes, especially this past winter because it was so tough, I found myself in the house more. When you're in the house more, you want to eat more just because you're bored. And
Yeah.
you don't really realize you're bored. You don't really realize it's pent up energy.
Yes, right,
And
exactly.
you find yourself opening the refrigerator door like unconsciously.
Hoping to find flat abs and happiness.
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah, well, boredom is a really big one, especially if you're stuck in the house. But if we know this, then we have to plan for this.
Yeah, like apples.
You have to have things to
Yeah.
eat that, you have to have things to eat that don't have a lot of calories. I mean, even celery and PB2 and, apples cut up, grapes washed, popcorn. The new microwave popcorn popper that I have doesn't require any oil. You can't even believe the savings from a popcorn bag
Yeah.
to this. And people tell me all the time they use a paper bag.
Oh.
So I'm like, but of course I'm thinking any minute my microwave oven will catch on fire or something. But I don't know. But I got this gift of this microwave popper, and now I just keep it right there, always being ready for me to have. And that is such a good thing, and it has now no oil at all, and it's delicious. And the grapes, of course. So I think what we have to do is reflect on what got us off track. I got off track when I hit that plateau was strictly because I thought I felt as thin as a rail. And that was 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I don't think I've ever felt as thin as I did during those 6 months, although very frustrated beyond measure. I remember going to Vermont they have the cheese place right over the border, right? And I was at the sign in all pink, thinking, look how thin I am. It's hilarious now. But I had a good head on my shoulders then for that. I felt confident. And I think confidence is what you need more than anything to get you through the times when you're not doing well. There's nothing like it, and nothing makes for confidence like success. And especially like at the gym, nothing makes for confidence. You don't even think it's not true, like leaving the gym. You feel like, I can't tell you.
On top of the world.
Yeah, on top of the world. It's true. Now, I find what happens is people start getting bored with their food choices, too.
That's true.
And I know that for me, because if I find something that there's a lot of, like I could have a big old plate of that and it's really low in calories, well, then I just eat it every single day. And I get bored. And that's why you kind of have to try to figure out new ways, new foods. Like you're trying a whole new system here, aren't you? Of eating?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
So when you're doing that, it makes for difference. And it helps you move forward when you're trying to make a difference. So making a new meal plan, some of the things that they say, and I don't think you should do any of these, is forget how far you've come. You always forget that you lost 83 pounds, and I am constantly having to reassure you that you look good, and everybody else. Even if you have not lost an ounce of weight, if you've changed your eating habits so that you're eating healthier, less processed food. Oh, we were
That's
reading
the
labels
key.
this morning, and there was the soup, chicken noodle soup. For a half a cup of chicken noodle soup, it was 870 milligrams or
Yes.
whatever of
Milligram-
salt.
Yeah.
Salt, yeah.
That's
This
ridiculous.
is a half a cup. How do you get that much salt into a half a cup of soup? I was really, honestly stunned at it. It was ridiculous. So once you start watching that, your salt intake, and you start eating better, and you're not having as many processed foods, and you're not eating at fast food restaurants, those are excellent changes that you've made. And that's how far you've come. I mean, I don't remember the last time I went to a fast food restaurant. I have to be proud of that. You know, you guys don't go to fast food
No.
restaurants, so, you know. Um,
The fastest food restaurant I go to is Subway.
yeah. And I'm
that's
thinking now
a
that they're
veggie
not,
sub.
now that they don't have that stuff from the
Right,
Dex that they had in the bread.
right.
Remember that? They're starting to do that. Put a time limit on being healthy. There's no time limit. It is a lifestyle change, and it needs to be done slowly so that, you know, you get used to it.
Mhm.
And that's what you do, get used to it. You know, I wish I knew how that I was going to lose that 93 pounds when I started my journey. Because if I knew it, I might not have been so hard on myself. I might have been easier. I might not have, you know, screwed up so much. I might have enjoyed myself just a little bit more instead of on Monday morning after the weekend felt all guilty. How about ignoring the big picture? What's the big picture is what? There's only
Being
one
healthier.
really. There's only one good reason to lose weight, and that's being healthier.
Healthier.
You can't for no other reason should you ever you know, I mean, certainly, I mean, people have said they could tie their shoelaces better, they could do they can work out at the gym, they can get out of the bathtub, get out of their chairs. You know, when you don't have if you have an extra 30 pounds on you, it's like having a cinder block on your lap.
That's
Well,
for sure.
a cinder block weighs 30 pounds. Just pick one up. You're like, can't believe it. So the whole reason that you're trying to do this is to be more comfortable.
Mhm.
And I think, you know, and then, you know, don't do this. How about don't repeat old mistakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and please, I'm as stubborn as they come. I will repeat those old mistakes every second I get a chance to repeat them.
Well, I find that to maintain my health, and you know, I have something wrong with me that requires that I eat properly, and to maintain my health, I have to watch my portions. I sometimes I have to eat 6 times a day, depending on what my schedule
Which is a
like.
good thing
Yeah.
anyway. You know, that's a good thing anyway. I think everybody should have 3 meals and 3, you know, little snacks, not big snacks, but little snacks. Or, you know, 3 small meals, 2 snacks.
Going to a restaurant, getting a box before you start eating, and taking half of what you eat. They give you in a box. That's
And you know what? Don't be fooled. Let's just go. So now that you've mentioned that, let's just go to that going to a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and you order a salad, you need to really be careful with that salad. That one salad at that one of the it's a sit-down fast food restaurant. It's 2,000 calories.
wow.
It's the Thai salad. It's 2,000 calories. So you really have to think, what were you going to say? You look like,
Yeah, I totally agree, because if you look at the ingredients and I mean, basically we know how many calories chicken has and lettuce and all this, and you sit there and you wonder, how come this has 2,000 calories in it, or like 1,200 calories in it? Because when you look at it, it doesn't seem like it would be that many.
no,
you
I know, but sometimes,
And
you know, even the craisins or
Yeah.
the candied walnuts or blue cheese dressing.
The noodles that they put in it.
Or those,
Yeah.
and the Thai dressing and
Right.
the Thai salad, they're fried.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to say, I don't want that.
Some are breaded and fried. You
Okay.
know.
But I mean, even some that are, even if you get like the grilled chicken with, you know, they're very high in calories.
The
and it's-
grilled
yeah.
chicken, I'm beginning to wonder, because, you know, I make this at home a lot, a grilled chicken on salad, and it never tastes as good as the restaurant. Now, why is it that the blackened chicken at my
Yum.
favorite restaurant tastes so delicious? I think they're frying it.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think it's grilled? Because
No,
a lot
I
of
think
times they'll say grilled chicken
Yeah, I know.
salad.
I think I need to ask that, because the steak, like if you went to a restaurant and you ordered a steak, you have to tell them no extra butter because they are putting that steak in butter before
butter
they're
in
putting
that
it on the
steak.
grill.
Yeah,
And they may even be putting it in butter before they put it on your plate.
that's true.
So, you know, you just can't. You have to be thinking. And you know what? If you're gonna have a bad day or you're gonna have a bad week, you have to accept what happens on the scale when we weigh in. You can't just say, I don't know why that happened, or I can't believe it, or how did I do that? You have to actually, own it. If you own it, you're going to feel better. And if you don't beat yourself up, okay, I had my fun, I went crazy, I know what it is. I mean, unless there's a hormone change or you had something very salty or, God only knows. There's, you have to accept it. You have to own that, you had 3 Sundays this week, or, pie every night, or, it could be anything. How about trying to make up for a bad? I do this all the time. I'm always trying to make up for a bad weekend on Monday, really ever so careful. This week has not been that way, though. Unfortunately, I have been every single day has been some sort of thing where I had to be eating.
Oh,
I know. It was really nice.
oh,
But
I
I'm
love
really-
those kind of weeks.
I know. I love those kind of weeks. Except for I have to own it tomorrow when I get on the scale. I have to really say, okay, you did it. I don't eat a lot of meat. I had steak 3 times.
My husband took me out to lunch the other day, and it was terrible. And it said chicken sausage, so I figured it was chicken sausage.
And we were wishing it was our favorite chicken
Oh
sausage.
my God, it was so salty, I couldn't eat it.
Did you send it back?
No, I just I ate just the onions and the bread
Oh, well,
and the cheese.
yeah, I would have sent it back. But that's what happens. People will eat it because they paid for it. And I think you should send it back and say, I can't eat this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. I ordered soup in the summer, and I don't really think that's so ridiculous because any restaurant you go into, the air conditioning is just ridiculous, right? So, I mean, I have a coat on. I have my jean jacket. I bring it with me all summer
I do too.
because, it's cold in there. And for somebody who is always hot, I can't believe how cold it is. So I order soup. And the soup comes out, and I take a bite of it, and I went, oh, my God, it's so much salt. It was unbelievable. And I mean, I go to this restaurant a lot, so I said to the waitress, I can't eat this salt. I can't eat this salt. I can't eat this soup. It's just honestly too salty. And so she said, no problem, and took it away ever so nicely. And don't you know the chef came out and yelled at me and said, who orders soup in the summer? Yeah, I do.
A lot of people do.
And I said, well, why would you have it on the menu? I said, is this soup from like December? You know what I mean? It was so ridiculous. I was afraid to eat any more of my food. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. But, you can't make up for it. You just have to start fresh.
Yeah, I think all the restaurants are heavy on the salt. But then, I taste something and it's so ridiculously salty, I can't eat it. And then I look at the person at the next table and they're pouring more salt on it. And it's like, oh.
I know, and I love my salt. It's not like I don't like salt.
Oh, me too.
But I don't understand how you could use that much salt. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's what my doctor said. Be careful eating out because they really do pour on the salt, and you may want to be careful.
Yeah, you may want to be careful. Yeah, I would be careful. I don't even know what to do about that. How about you have to find restaurants, and don't get soup in the summer, apparently. Set unrealistic goals. Oh, I have to lose 10 pounds by next week, or I have to lose 50 pounds by, in 3 months or something.
By the wedding.
But yeah, by the wedding. Well, maybe we should have thought of this like last year instead of all of a sudden thinking it should be now. We set unrealistic goals and then we're disappointed when it doesn't happen. I had a lady say to me, "Oh no, I could never just lose, 30 pounds in a year." Because I always give that. If I could told you in a year from now you would be 30 pounds lighter, wouldn't you be thrilled? And most people go, "Yes, I would be so thrilled." She said, "No, I wouldn't be thrilled." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "I want to at least be 60 pounds. I'm like, you know what? That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. And that you keep it off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to lose weight fast, you can. There's no doubt about it. But if you want to keep it off, you have to lose it slow. You really do. How about finding a fitness that actually works for you, that you enjoy?
A fitness plan?
Yeah, like
you mean?
go to yoga.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you love it, and that's
Yeah.
a really good thing.
Yeah.
I changed my whole workout up at the gym. It's very difficult, but you have to change it.
Yeah.
Have you
Otherwise, you get bored.
changed? You take all sorts of different things, right?
Yeah, I take the Zumba classes and that. And then I try to get active with my dogs too. I used to do agility, which is a course that you run with the dogs, and
Perfect.
now I'm doing the hunting, and so I try to do that.
That's great.
And then I try to go places that require lots of walking, like all day walking. So
Oh, well, see,
Like
and
the
that's
Bronx Zoo.
yeah.
yeah, see what that's what you have to do. You have to try to find things that actually are going to make you happy and that you're going to enjoy. That hip hop class we took was a ball. Now, if I didn't work out like I do, I would be taking a class like that. But I mean, I'm working out. It's not as much pleasure when you've already worked out. You can set small and large goals. How about if just for this week I try to do this or that? Just for this week. It takes 21 days to get a habit, to actually make a habit like permanent. Well, please.
21 days,
Sit 21
really?
days for your habit. So if you took one healthy thing, like you started drinking water every day and watching your salt intake and eating, say what you said, 3 good meals and 2 or 3 small ones, like you just any one, tracking, journaling, anything you want to do, exercising, just making a small goal for yourself for the week. Then what's that saying? Penny wise and dollar foolish.
Dumb.
And if you save your pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. I know there's a saying, but I'm always malapropping. So, but it's true. If you keep putting, a little bit of effort into something, eventually there's a payoff, and you have to start to think about that. And then like this one here is, you think you failed. You didn't fail. You just didn't move forward. That's not failing. That's not the same. If you're trying, you're not failing. That effort should be rewarded, I think. I would really like to. So we want to do these things. We want to focus on our recent choices that we have made that have been good choices. Even if that week we didn't lose weight, let's try to focus on those. Focus on lifestyle changes like you have. Some of the things that you guys have done here is excellent. Make a new meal plan. You could get bored with your food.
That's really a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you get bored with your food. I made fettuccine Alfredo. I know I told you this, where I put a whole bunch of broccoli at the bottom of the bowl and then a few things of shrimp, and then I simply made fettuccine Alfredo, and I had just 1 cup of it. It wasn't bad. It was made with skim milk and Parmesan cheese, no butter. You would think that it really wouldn't have tasted as good as it did, but honestly, my brother, like 2 days after I had that meal, my brother ordered fettuccine Alfredo, And of course, my fork was right into his plate because I eat out of everyone's plate. I don't count those calories either. They're like the calories you eat when you're standing up, or when nobody sees you, or you're like a bear in the woods. Anyway, and you know what? I didn't like the fettuccine Alfredo. He thought it was delicious, but to me, after all these years now, it's
Too
been
heavy.
11 years of maintenance. After all these years, I'm just not. I just don't like that heavy cream.
Me
you
neither.
know, yeah. Tell that to me when I'm having, chocolate cream pie. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'll have fettuccine Alfredo tomorrow. I like this one here. This is make a motivational board. Did you ever think about doing that, where you put up like the bathing suit you want to wear,
Oh, my
or
husband does that.
a menu, a recipe you want to try, or good, maybe you even, if it's in a place that's good for you, it's at like a hidden place where you might put your weight, and anything you can do to motivate yourself. I mean, what's the nicest thing that happens when you do lose weight? People notice. When people say to you, "You look like you lost weight," you should say what?
Thank you.
Thank you. You shouldn't say, "Oh, but I have so far to go," or "Oh, I'm struggling right now," or "Oh, when people tell me I look like I lost weight, I just go, "Thank you, it's fabulous." So, I think that's what you really have to think. So, say kind things to yourself daily. We are
That's
so
hard.
mean to ourselves.
I
It's
know.
not even funny.
My husband tells me that all the time, how mean I am to myself.
Oh, it's awful. If you had a friend who treated you the way you treat yourself, you wouldn't be friends with them anymore. So try to think that. Think good thoughts to the best of your ability. I know life isn't always perfect, but if you just don't beat up on yourself, you'll be better off. All right, have a healthy week, and I'll see you next week, and thanks for coming and watching.
Yay!
Never quit.
Never quit.
Never quit.
That's for sure.